Every night, while you sleep, your brain is doing something extraordinary. It's taking out the trash. Not just day-to-day mental clutter, but toxic proteins that, if left to pile up, can slowly erase who you are. These proteins build up over time, quietly clogging the delicate circuitry of the mind, and when they do, they set the stage for one of the most feared conditions of aging: memory loss, confusion, and eventually, the slow fading of self. For decades, scientists have searched for ways to stop this process, and now, a growing body of research suggests that the power to protect the brain may lie not just in futuristic drugs or medical breakthroughs, but in the choices we make every single day: what we eat, how we rest, how we move, and even what we choose to take as a daily supplement. Imagine your brain as a bustling city. Neurons are the roads, synapses are the intersections where information travels, and everything runs on a finely tuned rhythm. But like any city, it produces waste. One of the most dangerous byproducts is a sticky protein that accumulates between brain cells. When this protein isn't cleared efficiently, it forms clumps that disrupt communication, damage cells, and trigger inflammation, a silent fire that smolders for years before symptoms appear. This process isn't just linked to rare diseases, it's part of normal aging, and for some, it spirals into irreversible decline. But here's the hopeful part: science is now showing that this trajectory isn't fixed. The brain isn't just a passive victim of time, it can be defended, strengthened, and even renewed. At the heart of this new understanding is a simple but revolutionary idea: the brain is deeply connected to the rest of the body in ways we're only beginning to appreciate. What happens in the gut, the heart, the muscles, and even the immune system echoes directly in the mind. This means that the habits we've long known are good for the body, sleeping well, staying active, eating whole foods, are also powerful tools for preserving memory and mental clarity. And now, researchers are uncovering how certain natural compounds, when taken consistently, may act as quiet allies in this lifelong effort to keep the brain young. One of the most promising players in this story is a type of fat found in certain foods: omega-3 fatty acids. These aren't just another health trend, they're essential building blocks of brain tissue. The brain is nearly 60% fat, and much of that is made up of omega-3s, particularly a form called DHA, which helps maintain the flexibility and function of brain cells. Without enough of it, neurons become stiff, communication slows, and the brain becomes more vulnerable to damage. But here's where it gets even more interesting: omega-3s don't just support structure, they also act as natural anti-inflammatories. Chronic inflammation, once thought to be just a side effect of aging, is now recognized as a key driver of brain degeneration. It's like having a constant low-grade infection in the mind, and omega-3s help dial that down. Studies tracking people over time have found something remarkable: those who consume more omega-3s, either through diet or supplements, tend to have slower rates of brain aging. Their memory stays sharper, their thinking stays faster, and their brains appear healthier on scans. In one recent study, participants who took a daily gram of omega-3 showed measurable protection against shrinkage in critical areas responsible for learning and memory. But the real magic happened when omega-3s were combined with other healthy habits. When people exercised regularly and got enough vitamin D, the benefits multiplied. It wasn't just one thing, it was the synergy of multiple supports working together. Of course, you can get omega-3s from food. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in them, as are walnuts and chia seeds. But not everyone eats these foods regularly, and for those who don't, supplements can help fill the gap. But not all supplements are created equal. The oceans, where fish get their omega-3s, are increasingly polluted with heavy metals like mercury, lead, and cadmium. When fish oil is processed without proper purification, those toxins can end up in the capsule. Some brands use a process called molecular distillation, double or even triple filtering the oil to remove contaminants, while others skip this step to cut costs. Taking a poorly purified supplement could mean trading brain benefits for long-term harm. That's why quality matters more than ever. Look for brands that are transparent about sourcing and purification, and consider plant-based options like algae oil, which provide the same brain-boosting fats without the risk of ocean-borne pollutants. But supplements alone won't save the brain. They're more like reinforcements, helpful only when the foundation is strong. And that foundation is built through daily habits that most people already know about but often overlook. Sleep, for example, isn't just rest, it's a nightly cleaning cycle for the brain. During deep sleep, the brain's waste removal system kicks into high gear, flushing out toxic proteins through a network of fluid channels. If you're only getting 5 or 6 hours a night, that system doesn't have enough time to do its job. Over time, the trash piles up. 7 to 8 hours isn't a luxury, it's maintenance. Then there's stress. Everyone experiences it, but chronic stress is different. It keeps the body in a constant state of alert, flooding the system with stress hormones that, over time, damage brain cells and shrink the hippocampus, the region responsible for forming new memories. The brain doesn't distinguish between a looming deadline and a physical threat, it reacts the same way. This is why practices that calm the nervous system, mindfulness, meditation, breathing exercises, even long walks in nature, aren't just nice to have. They're protective measures, like installing a fire suppression system in a building. Physical movement is another non-negotiable. Exercise doesn't just strengthen the heart and muscles, it literally grows the brain. When you move, your body releases chemicals that stimulate the creation of new neurons, especially in areas tied to memory and learning. It also helps break down those harmful protein clumps and improves blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients exactly where they're needed. You don't need to run marathons, even a daily 30-minute walk can make a difference. The key is consistency. Social connection might be the most underestimated factor of all. Loneliness doesn't just feel bad, it changes the brain. People who feel isolated have higher levels of inflammation, poorer sleep, and a greater risk of cognitive decline. In fact, studies show that chronic loneliness can double the odds of developing memory problems later in life. On the flip side, staying engaged with others, through conversation, shared activities, or even just regular contact, keeps the brain active and resilient. The mind thrives on interaction, on the back and forth of ideas, emotions, and experiences. And then there's the food on your plate. Diets rich in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats feed inflammation and harm the gut microbiome, the trillions of microbes living in your digestive tract that scientists now believe play a surprising role in brain health. A growing body of evidence suggests that a balanced gut microbiome helps regulate inflammation and may even assist in clearing toxic proteins from the brain. Diets like the Mediterranean pattern, filled with vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and healthy fats, support this balance. They're not just good for the heart, they're like fertilizer for the mind. Some researchers are now going a step further, exploring natural plant compounds that may offer extra protection. One such extract, derived from a vine found in the Amazon, has shown promise in early studies for reducing inflammation and helping the brain clear waste. While more research is needed, the idea that certain plants contain molecules capable of supporting brain resilience is gaining traction. These aren't miracle cures, but they may be valuable additions to a broader strategy. The big picture is becoming clear. Brain aging isn't something that happens to us. It's something we influence every day. There's no single pill, no magic bullet, but there is a powerful combination of choices that, when made consistently, can change the course of cognitive health. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. Eating a little better, sleeping a little more, moving more often, staying connected, and maybe adding a high-quality supplement or two. These small steps, taken over years, add up to something profound. And perhaps the most exciting part is that it's never too late to start. The brain is adaptable, capable of forming new connections and recovering function well into older age. Every positive choice sends a signal, I'm not done yet. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live sharper, clearer, and more fully. To remember names, to laugh at jokes, to recognize loved ones, to wake up curious about the day ahead. That's the real prize, not just surviving time, but thriving through it. The brain may age, but with the right care, it doesn't have to fade. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the latest science-backed tips on how to protect your brain and live sharper for longer. Share this with someone you care about, because everyone deserves to age with their mind strong and their memories intact. Until next time, take care of your brain. It's the only one you've got.